Welcome to the Sly Dragons 93's video, the best channel for anime reviews, anime recommendations, and anime tops. Enjoy, my friends.
I can imagine many of you have tried, such as myself, to persuade your family or friends to try out anime. Given anime's vast library, it can get tricky to pick that one anime to push your friend into trying out, and even more so to encourage them to try out more series after that very first watch, which is where I think in particular is the hardest part. Take Attack on Titan for instance, where the popularity had manifested beyond the anime community and scooped up that massive haul of people that never even tried an anime, and how many of those people have actually gotten into other series since then. So therefore this list should help you to an extent where you can recommend an anime series for just about anyone based on what I have here, as this list is composed of a variety of series to cater to every type of viewer, instead of just the typical gateway anime that people tend to wholeheartedly rely on. So without further ado, let us begin. Before we move to the list, I just want to throw in some honorable mentions before we proceed. So let's start off with Full Metal Panic. Pretty much sums up your generic stereotypical comedic anime series with its over-the-top jokes, big-ass mechas, and a somewhat of a serious story on the side. It's got the fantastic all-rounder entertainment value with the mix of its comedy, school life, action, and mecha to wrap it all into one enjoyable show, giving you that vast variety. Therefore, if you or your friend find Full Metal Panic enjoyable, it's a lot more easier to ease them into more anime series of that type. Specifically comedy series. Soul Eater is one of the few shonens I can actually recommend that has an end to it. Despite the anime going off in its own direction, the series was very enjoyable in itself, with your very likable cast, with Blackstar being the dumb, big shot, loudmouth kid, the most pain-in-the-ass perfectionist with his symmetry, which he more than makes up for it with his ass-kicking guns, Maka the main protagonist. I got nothing. But all in all, if you want bloody action battles that keep everything in a good consistent flow, then try out Soul Eater. I can imagine many of you that may be arguing, where's your Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece? Well, I don't want to scare off potential newcomers with that large number of episodes, but maybe Soul Eater may be the thing that could perhaps slowly ease them into it if you're really wanting to push them to trying out Bleach, One Piece, and Naruto in particular.
10.
Starting off with Black Lagoon, it's a great fix for all you action junkies that adore all your gunfights, swearing, explosions, and big-breasted bitches, and episodic stories. In Black Lagoon, I found the first half to be really enjoyable in the same sense of how I enjoyed Shampoo, with its episodic nature of concluding stories in the span of 1 to 2 episodes, which is why I find that Black Lagoon is a perfect fit for newcomers, as the pacing is consistently always moving forward. The fights themselves always escalate to another level of awesomeness, where there'll be more bloodbaths awaiting, especially in the OVA. Therefore, do throw this series at your chums that get a good kick out of their sexy bitches that know how to pull a trigger and kill, and to prove that anime just ain't for little kiddies, or perverts, nor lolicons.
9.
Anohana is a fantastic slice of life with its intense climatic moments that intensify the drama to such great lengths, where the show encourages you to push forward with the episodes with little to no ease. Although the characters aren't really memorable reflecting back on it, but the story is what most people take away from the show itself. Seeing the show going back and forth between past and present really made me feel quite sympathetic for the characters given its short length of 11 episodes, which I feel is the particular reason why it would be most approachable in terms of a slice of life show in comparison to Clanad.
8.
Out of all these animes that I've listed, Gurren Lagann is the most quotable series with moments like this.
いいかシモン、自分を信じるな。俺を信じろ。お前を信じる俺を信じろ
And is simply the clear definition of epic if you look that up on the dictionary. Character designs themselves have this swag mix of absurdity and pure awesomeness. And don't forget boobs. Despite Gurren Lagann's lack of a coherent story, the action and grand scale of the battles more than makes up for what is lost. As an overall though, Gurren Lagann is quite a risky anime to suggest to a newcomer, given its over-the-top nature and silliness at times with the character designs. However, the show itself does have a high payoff if that newbie does enjoy it, and it will therefore get easier to recommend more anime series once they've watched Gurren Lagann, especially shonens and maybe a few mechas.
7.
The big 3, and by this we all know what I'm talking about. Summer Wars, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, and my personal favourite, Wolf's Children. These are all fantastic family films that can be enjoyed by anyone, and by anyone I mean everyone can sit down regardless of age and enjoy the themes and morals that get explained with some of the best works of animation I have seen to date. The Girl Who Leapt Through Time is pretty much about what is advertised in the box, except with the twist of how altering time can have a negative repercussions on other things that can unexpectedly occur. Wolf's Children focuses on the hardships of parenthood, especially when you are bringing up kids that are wolves. Summer Wars pretty much takes the battleground to the interwebs, where a virus called the Love Machine, yep, no joke, the Love Machine hacks this virtual world called Oz, which pretty much controls a lot of important aspects over the internet.
6.
I can imagine most of you out there, if not all of you, must have thrown Death Note out there as a suggestion, which probably has the highest success rate of all the other shows that people tend to recommend. With Death Note's dark and intense thriller and the interesting moral of enabling Light Yagami to take people's lives with the flick of a pen, it really does intrigue you how the protagonist keeps this going as he gets closer and closer to his nemesis L, the world-famous detective. But I feel a lot of people still sadly don't really move on to any other series after Death Note, as there aren't many thriller anime that can compete with the pacing Death Note had. And if you do know any, then do feel free to drop some suggestions below and I'll be interested in checking them out. I hope you guys all enjoyed the first part, and don't worry, part 2 will be up as soon as I get to making it. Therefore, I ask you, how were your experiences in recommending anime before? Whether you failed or not, I'll be interested to see what your experiences were like, and don't forget to like and share this video so more people can see and give anime a chance. I'm the Sly Dragon 93, and I'll speak to you all in the next video. Adios.
I hope you all enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more anime videos. Farewell my friends, and yes, Rika is the best waifu any man can ask for.